1 minute of warm-up remaining. 1 minute of warm-up remaining. All right, athletes, please hold up on your warm-up. Hold up on your warm-up. No more deliveries at this time. Reset the pin setters to the first ball cycle. Again, bowling fans, please, no flash photography in the signing of autographs is strictly prohibited during competition. We also ask that you silence those cell phones to prevent any distractions to the athletes. Today, the field of play is still that tiled area at the bottom of the stairs, and that belongs to our athletes and our athletes only. Please do not enter the field of play for any reason. As a reminder, BowlTV.com is the exclusive live stream home of the PWBA Tour, and we ask that you do not live stream from your personal devices. All right, bowling fans, pick out your favorite athlete this afternoon. Cheer her on. Ladies, zeros are up. You have a full set of pins. How about a great send-off for all of our athletes on their quest to royalty at the 2019 USBC Queens. Good luck, ladies.
All right, welcome back. Another contenders match, elimination match here on Bowl TV, highlights 25 and 26. Emil Williams Jr. and joined for this round by last year's top seed here at the event and finished the runner-up in 2018, Brianna Cote.
Hello, everybody.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. As you know, this is the time where the action gets a little furious, and there's a ton of things happening that you kind of keep an eye on.
Definitely. There's been some great matches, some close matches. I fell victim to one of those close matches last night. I was in a tie with Maria Rodriguez and, lost strike to 9, which was fine. I made a good shot, so I really couldn't hang my head about it. And Maria bowled great. So there's been a few ties, I believe, this week, which you think it's a rare thing to tie, but it actually happens more often than you might think. So I think we're going to see some great matches here, especially against Shannon. And then we have also some other matches around us with the contenders bracket. Looks like Danielle McEwen, Daphne Tan, Tanya Romanpour, and Esther Chi. And who else? We have Ami Guerra, and I think it's Giselle Paz. So we got some good matches going on for this contenders bracket to stay alive and try to get that crown.
Puhalski versus O'Keefe. There will be a lot of last names used in this one.
Yes. Shannon 1, Shannon 2. We could label them that way too, I guess. Righty versus lefty.
Reminds me of the many times where I've called a basketball game or something to that extent where there's 4 people on the court with the same last name. So then it's the opposite. It's
the opposite effect, yeah.
It's the first name that you use at that point.
Definitely, yeah. We do have a lot of Shannons on tour. It's no surprise to me that both these Shannons are still in this tournament. Shannon O'Keefe, obviously being the defending champion. I know she lost her very first match in a close one, I believe.
2 pins.
2 pins.
654 to 652.
So it's no surprise to me that she kind of put her game face on and has been just outstanding in all the matches that she's been bowling. little errant shot there by Shannon. But I think she should bounce back from that. Then Shannon Pulowski looking to win queens for the second time.
Both of these players supremely experienced, the long-time Team USA members, two of the longest tenured. Pulowski is the longest tenured at 19 consecutive years.
Unbelievable. That's a record. I don't think it's going to be broken.
And she's obviously still going.
I don't think she has any plans on slowing down. And, you know, she's still out here and she's still very competitive. So I think as soon as she may realize maybe she's not competitive, she'll step away. But until then, we're going to see her out here and as well as on Team USA for as long as possible.
I would think so. I mean, she's not even 40 yet.
No, she's a couple years older than me.
Which, when you think about it from that perspective, you say, well, she's really been bowling at such a high level for
a long time.
That many years, and it's still a couple years away from being 40 years old.
Yeah, definitely. I grew up with Shannon Pulowski. She, like I said, she's a few years older than me, but bowled against her juniors and always looked up to her. So she's a great role model for all the young ones out here and those who are looking to pursue professional bowling as well as Team USA bowling.
Finished the point on the longest tenure, of course. O'Keefe and Stephanie Johnson have been on the squad for 15 consecutive years apiece, which is not too shabby.
Not too shabby, no. They've done it together, so I know they're very good friends. So something to kind of, I think they motivate each other to keep repeating every year together. So it's great for them.
Yeah, this match is, you know, it would be, this is certainly a tough one. But, you know, when you take away the friendship portion, it's about the bowling, the competition, and wanting to win.
Definitely. It is hard when you are facing someone you're close to or, you know, even if a rival, it is hard. But you want to bowl the lanes. You want to bowl your own game, not really worry about who your opponent is. And try to have the highest score at the end of the 3 games. Anything can happen in the 3 games. So, I mean, just by being in this event, it's not my favorite event. It's one of the events that I struggle with personally. But, you know, I'm at it every year trying to get better. As it's a tournament that anybody can win with how the format is.
Why do you think you've struggled? Why is it not a favorite?
Not a favorite for me. I have a hard time realizing that it's 15 games of qualifying. I always look at it 5 games at a time, you know, 5 games. And to me, it's like a little sprint. Not a sprinter. I'm more of a marathon bowler. I really love the 16 games in one day. So I feel like if I have a bad game, that I can rebound. That was a great shot there. So I started off my Queens tournament with a 140 this year. It was not my shining moment. And I was like, oh boy. But you know, it was like, okay, we're going to have a bad start and let's try to chip away at it and get there. And I was fortunate enough to get into the bracket. So Shannon has a little bit of an early lead here. Shannon O'Keefe staying clean.
For those, again, remember, we actually do have one winners match ongoing right now. And it is Dasha Kovalova and Cindy Jane. They are battling for the top seed over on 31 and 32. Those 2 players have submitted themselves onto the TV show.
Yes, they are. They have punched their ticket to television tomorrow evening, no matter what, who wins or loses that match. And Jameson has been phenomenal in this match play. I don't know if she kind of flipped a switch. I know she kind of struggled a little bit in qualifying. She bowled really well the last day of qualifying, and then as soon as bracket play hit, it's like she was on a completely different level, almost like she was bowling on a completely different pattern than the rest of us. But she's been bowling phenomenal, and so is Dasha. Dasha's been bowling really well. She bowled well last week in Lincoln on a tough condition. So I think it's going to be a close match because they're both going to be fighting for that #1 spot. Looks like Shannon missed a spare. Shannon O'Keefe. These are the last names.
Yeah, open in the fourth for O'Keefe. And Puhowski, who started with an open, has gone strike, spare, strike since.
Do we know how many lefties made the bracket?
At least 3.
Okay. I know I saw Plowski and Angie.
Sherry Tan. And Angie. I want to say that's it, though.
That's it. So not a whole lot within a 64-person bracket. I was in a squad that didn't have many lefties, so I wasn't sure how the left side looked. In comparison, I was with mostly righties in my squad, so, but of course, it doesn't surprise me that those 3 made it. They're great bowlers. And they always find a way to get there. And Shannon with a double. Shannon Plowski with a double. Are you a fan of all the matches spread out? Yes and no.
I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
You know, I guess if I'm a player, I would enjoy a little space. I think
Definitely, yeah.
With so fewer matches going at this point.
Don't have to worry about the lane courtesy as much.
Right.
One less thing to think about.
You know, if you needed to feel like you could run out a shot,
You're not going to tackle
you
anybody.
could. You're not going to run into anyone.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You don't want to bump somebody, especially when they're trying to get on the approach and they might get a little upset with you. Shannon Pelosi capitalizing for a turkey.
We'll keep you updated on the winner's bracket match.
So have you had a chance to talk to Shannon O'Keefe about being the defending champion and how she's handling that? Does she, I haven't talked to her. I haven't really seen her much this week. I know she's hungry for a repeat, I would say.
Yeah, but she mentioned she knew early, obviously that no matter what would go down here, it probably wouldn't look the same as it did, or probably even remotely close, just because of the nature of the format. And then, of course, she ends up losing early. And so, in a way, this would be even more of an accomplishment if she is to make television.
Definitely.
After losing the very first match and being in the contenders bracket, you got to win 8 times.
Yes, it's a longer road for sure. Not one that any of us want to take, but if we can keep doing it and keep winning, it's good motivation. Build your confidence as well for going into TV that, you've had the longest road, you bowled the most games. Mentally you're probably one of the toughest ones out there to get through it.
Yeah, it obviously takes a lot to just fight through a few matches and fight through kind of one day of competition, let alone 8 matches, which each presents its own unique challenges and emotional ties and all of the above. Like each match is, you could put it on a registry and hit a button. It's like, boom, okay, match 1. What do we have for you today, John?
Yes.
Match 2. How's this one going to play out?
Yeah, they're all going to be different, especially just by bowling in the center now a few times on tour. The topography is very unique on certain ends of the house. What's the pair giving you? Just because you bowled on fresh 3 times, but you bowled on 3 different pairs, what is it going to give you? The burn squads, tended to be a little bit softer, easier to play, but again, depending maybe who was on that pair prior to your match or to your qualifying squad, how it's going to play. I know I had a lot of lanes very different throughout the week, and even during the match play rounds. Plowski continuing to strike.
And Shannon using, or Pluhowski that is, using
It's hard.
urethane. I'm not sure. I feel like I saw her throw a few shots in the previous match, and it looked like urethane was going down the lane, but I'm not sure if she's exclusively used it all day.
Yes, I'm not sure as well. I came here a little bit later today due to the weather outside. I was not going to drive here in the storms. So when I saw a break in the weather, I was like, okay, I'm going to run down there and see what's going on. And I think it's starting to storm again. But it was no surprise that Shannon would probably be using urethane on this. Looks like a purple hammer. Great shot.
2006 USBC Queens champion.
2006.
What were you doing in 2000?
I was in college.
Me too.
I was in college. Yeah, and I was going to school and bowling still, but I was definitely still in college.
Now, to be fair to Shannon, because it would be made to sound like she is so much older than us. She had just gotten done with college, just finished college.
Yeah. So when I was a freshman, 2004, 2005, she was a senior. So we're about 3.5, 4 years apart, roughly. So she's like, again, she's not even 40 yet. So she's not really old. She's just
36 to be exact.
Yeah, she's just been bowling a very long time, started at a young age.
It really means that she's just been excellent.
Yes, she has. She definitely has. I've never known her to not be excellent. She's very dedicated in
There's
her
not
craft.
many people you can say that about.
No, there's not. You know, especially growing up with her, I've seen her. I've bowled against her. I know, and I've been around her. She's a great person. She's a great mother. She's just an overall good person.
The spare for O'Keefe. Of course, Shannon took the unconventional road, if you will, by not being a bowler essentially as a young athlete and concentrating on a different sport, softball, which she was extremely good at.
Yes, very
as
good
well.
Yeah, she's overall very athletic. She's always, I think, no matter what sport I think Shannon would end up playing, she would be good at. She's just a naturally born athlete, in my opinion. So whatever sport she were to pick, she dedicates herself to, she's going to be great at, and that's what she's done with bowling.
See some of the TV crew starting to roll on in. We're getting closer.
It's coming. The TV stage is going to be set here very soon. It'll be exciting to see. The live shows are always fun.
Blahowski out of trouble there, 247 for Shannon.
Definitely good break on dropping the 10 out. But still, I don't think this is a spare Shannon probably prefers to shoot. Just like the righties probably don't prefer to shoot 3-6-10. I know I don't. But again, having a makeable spare. And gets it. So it looks like Dasha Kovalova shot 275 game 1. So she's continuing her striking abilities. Of course, Lee Jane Sin looks like she can get the fill shot for in the 230. So about a roughly 40 pin match there, which anything can happen with 2 more games to go.
Joined in the booth by Brianna Cote. Blahowski gets the carry
A light mixer.
We know that early games don't necessarily, or early great games don't necessarily mean success or winning the match, but staying out of trouble certainly, and being able to maintain, or at least attempting to maintain your luck. Today we've seen a lot of players kind of lose their ball reaction.
Yes.
Kind of shortly after some early success.
Yes, and I would say it's not hard. It's not an uncommon thing to happen. You have a good look. The lanes are always changing, especially the more balls that go down the lane. If you're on a pair that has two righties or two lefties, they're constantly going to be changing. And the way this pattern was, it seems like it played different almost every single time it laid down. So, I mean, you really kind of had to just be on top of the moves. Hopefully, made your spares and could get that ball reaction to come back. Had a good progression of bowling balls, a good plan to move forward with, and hopefully it paid off in the end. So Plahowski is going to end with 234. Shannon O'Keefe stepping up in the 10th. Great shot.
O'Keefe's going to have some work to do, but at this point in the event, she's been working.
Yes.
Since she lost her first match essentially yesterday.
Yes, and the one thing that you don't want to do is panic. Try to get some pins back here. Try to get as close to your opponent as possible and move on to the next game.
Again, O'Keefe lost her first match to Caitlin Simpson, a match that she was up by a pretty decent margin, then went back-to-back 7-10s late in the match. All the while, Caitlin Simpson was ended up shooting 274.
Wow.
To defeat O'Keefe. And of course, that dropped Shannon to the contenders bracket, and her first match there was against Kelly Kulik, which could have been a winner's bracket match.
Yeah, that's definitely a winner's bracket matchup.
Had both of those players won.
Definitely.
O'Keefe went on to shoot 730 to defeat Kulik, who shot 587. And a very close match with Kristen Nieder. They were going back and forth. And Shannon shot 719 and Kristen 706. Another 770 sets, 774 defeating Caitlin Johnson this morning, who shot 697, and that was back and forth for the first couple. Shannon tried something there. Probably didn't mean to throw where she threw it, but
luckily it stayed on and still struck. So 200. I think she'll take that with the Aaron shots that she had the first half of that game.
Her road continued earlier today with a match against Brandy Branca, 7-13 to 6-13. In our previous round, she defeated Jasmine Mason 651 to 582. And that is O'Keefe's road to where we are now. There is one additional match prior to the Final Four match, which is for the 4 players for 3 spots. The winner of our match here will face either Tanya Raumemper or Esther Chia.
And Tanya just came off a big set.
822.
With a 300 the last game. Unbelievable.
That is the highest match play set in the history of this event.
Fun fact.
822.
That's pretty impressive. It was great bowling by Tanya, definitely. So it looks like Shannon O'Keefe is sticking with the bowling ball she was originally using. She's not making that change.
First USBC Queens was contested in 1961.
1961. Before our time.
Definitely before ours. And actually every single player competing.
Yes.
At this moment in
Yes.
time.
Yes. I believe the Shannon match, the Shannons, are the oldest ones in the field right now. I don't know how old Ami is.
That's a good question.
But she would be probably, I would say, within range to the Shannons.
I would think so in our mid-30s.
Yeah, definitely a younger group remaining.
Well, it just goes to show. We've talked about the youth on tour.
Yes, definitely.
And how the collegiate landscape is producing younger players, younger, better, significant players early on.
Oh, definitely. The talent that has come through the collegiate ranks the last couple of years has been unbelievable. From when, obviously when the tour first started back, I guess revamped in 2015, players like myself and Josie, Aaron McCarthy, even Danielle a little bit, didn't really have much to bowl. And then the tour came out and we're like, okay, we have something to bowl. And then those ones in college still has something to look forward to. A couple years later, they're coming out and they're doing great things. For example, like Jordan Richard, her sister Haley. And then in this run, I say we have, Jasmine Mason, Julia Bond. And they're just, every year we're getting a new group of young talent, and they're out here and they're hungry.
4-6-7 here for O'Keefe. And is there, we'll have to watch the next couple of shots. Is there anything that you see just kind of offhand on the right side of the lane? That
to me, I don't think Shannon's making the best of shots. One, just by her body language and her reaction, it doesn't look like she's throwing it well. I think she's just not executing her shot. She shot 200 the last game, but the shots that she executed well were there. She's been a little bit more sporadic than I've seen this week. I don't know if it's nerves. We all get nervous. If someone tells you they're not nervous, I think they're crazy. But I think she just needs to kind of sit, gather her thoughts, and just make some good shots. And I think if she can get some good shots under her belt, she can kind of loosen up that arm swing again. A good break there for Shannon for that to fall, leaving a single pin.
she'd much rather take care of the single pin instead.
Definitely. Some spares this week were not easy to come by, being the pattern was a little bit flatter. So if you could leave something more, something together, more in the middle, or just a single pin, you definitely felt like you were getting a big break.
Nice, she'll take care of business. Kovalova after the early start, 275. A couple strikes this game. It's rare to see Cinley Jane without a string of strikes.
She can still do it. She can still put on the show. But again, different pair, different match. New scenery, essentially.
Lanes were not redressed during the brief 20-minute break.
Mm-hmm. It's weird to think that they're burned, but they are not fresh. 4-7 for Pulowski. Looks like she kind of pulled that one in a little bit. Wasn't as much up the lane as the previous shots.
Where did you find to have the most success on this pattern?
Well, it took a little bit of learning for me to figure that out. Like I said, I started my Queens run with the 140. I think I was in the right part of the lane, just with too strong of a bowling ball. And then I kind of found myself not trusting that part of the lane, which was playing outside to the right, more like where Shannon and Danielle has been the majority of the week. So I kind of migrated in and just kind of found something that I could feel safe with to get through the fresh. And then obviously I bowled well on the burn. And then again was just kind of even on the fresh again. And unfortunately, I lost my first match to Stephanie Johnson. I think still playing the wrong part of the lane a little bit too far in, and then I decided to have a different game plan. Use a little bit of a weaker bowling ball to the right, try to keep my angles in front of me, and it definitely paid off. Kind of like where Shannon just threw that last shot, kind of up the lane, let the ball roll into the pocket. Felt like if you really got grabby with it, it was just going to take off. I know I did see a lot of gutter balls this week.
Yeah, there were a few.
I never tried to play that
Absolutely.
far right. I try to use like maybe 5 as my furthest
gutter?
right. Yeah. That was pretty much my gutter because I didn't want to throw it in the gutter. I mean, I've done it before.
Sure.
It happens. But I was just trying to keep it on the lane. So let's see if O'Keefe can double here. Well, that was a pretty decent shot. Looks like she did change balls. Looks like something maybe a little bit cleaner. Make full spare for O'Keefe. So two good shots. She may be a little more comfortable now that she's seeing something that she likes. She can get from point A to point B a little bit easier. So I will tell you when you're not comfortable and you're not sure, your arm swing goes everywhere. You don't want to do that on this pattern.
North Rock Lanes has been the home here of the USBC Queens since, what's today? Monday?
Yeah, today's Monday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday was practice. Last Wednesday,
Last
by the
Wednesday,
way.
yes.
That's when the official week started. The official practice sessions. Then we had the PWBA Hall of Fame induction ceremony Wednesday night.
That was an awesome event. I attended that as well, and congrats to all of the inductees this year. It was pretty awesome to see the history behind the players who were inducted. You know, Leanne, Wendy, Donna, and then it was awesome to see Anne-Marie get recognition for all the great things she's done in the sport of bowling. According to Tennille, it was a magical night. She kept telling us that ever since the first week on tour, and it was a great night. And I hope we have many more to come. So Pulaski staying clean. A better shot, more up the lane.
So far, the all-spare game right now for Shannon, but the key is that she is filling frames.
That's correct, yes. When you see your opponent struggle, just try to fill frames. Don't try to force it in there. You don't want to essentially give it back.
Look out.
Oh.
All right.
Like she wasn't too sure about that one. So what's the most interesting thing you have witnessed this week?
This week? I saw the 2-8-10 made twice. Or sorry, the 2-4-8-10.
2-4-8-10 made twice.
Twice. By Shannon Grimm. And she actually made it 3 times, but
So the same person made
same
it.
person made it 3 times. Only
That's
saw them twice, but she made it again on a different pair.
That's impressive.
That is.
That's impressive. She should get an award for that.
Yeah, I was trying to take notes after a while. Like,
How do
did
you
she
do
make
that?
that again? Great shot there. Well, Shannon
Yeah.
decided to, I believe, stick with the ball that she threw on the fill shot.
Yes, this is what looks like what she switched to. I think it's a GB3. But I mean, the last 3 shots have definitely been much better. She looks more confident. Her ball motion. See if she can get a double here.
I would also say up until, or just watching, I guess, Cindy Jane just work and match play has been, it's been interesting to see that there was that much score available.
Yes, when you didn't see it
Correct.
across the board by a lot of people or that consistent.
So that's more of a testament to her ability.
Yes, definitely. And she does, I mean, she bowls on the World Bowling Tour, and she's beat a lot of the men on tour. So she's a tough competitor. She's won on this tour. Was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago, 2017,
Yeah.
Lincoln.
So I mean, it's not like she's not a nobody. We
agree.
know who she is, and you know you can't ever count her out.
She also made the show 2017 Wichita Open. And then in 2016, she made the Queen Show, which now she has done for the second time.
Oh. And then the Wichita Open was obviously here.
It was. Her teammate ended up winning that one, Siti Rahman.
Yes, CT was here this week. I believe I think this is their last week. The
It is.
Malaysians, I think they are headed back to Malaysia after this week. And then I think we have the Singapore ladies for one more week. I was surprised to not see a lot of Europeans come out for the Queens this year. Not sure if they had a scheduling conflict.
Yeah, last year we had, and generally, Sweden, for example,
Definitely.
is generally sending 3 to 4 players.
Yes, I'm not sure. Like I said, they could have a scheduling conflict. I know they have a big type of league that they have to participate in. Good spare for Shannon, maintaining her all-spare game.
Well, we know that the World Bowling Women's Championships will be happening in August,
Yes.
and every country obviously prepares differently for their respective events. So I'm sure that European countries also keep it in the back of their mind.
Yes, I would agree with that.
That's coming up because August will be here before we know it.
Yeah, it's already almost June. I mean, where does time go? I mean, think about after the Queens is over, the first third of the tour is done.
That is correct.
And I feel like we just got out here. Flies by. It really does. But on to the next one after this. She's gonna try again.
All right, she'll give it another go.
Yeah, maybe something didn't feel right. So best thing to do in that situation is just put the bowling ball down, start your whole routine over, clear your mind, try again.
How do you kind of, from the pre-shot routine and visualize, but try to keep your mind clear? What are the keys for you? What do you have to do to be able to clear your mind when you're stepping on the approach?
The best thing that I've learned to do is breathe. Try to clear your mind as much as possible. I feel like if your mind is clear, it allows your body to just go, just do its thing. I feel like the mind can just control your body and make sense. If you can just clear your mind, take a deep breath, maybe focus on one little thing, whether it's your target, a break point. Some people look at different things. Take a deep breath and just allow it to happen. So that's kind of what I focus on. I try to focus on. Sometimes it gets the better of me. We all fall victim sometimes. Blousy, you want to run?
Oh, come on.
Oh. Slides a 5 in front of the 10. Ugh.
First open for Pluhowski.
I'm not sure if she's fighting some ball reaction. It looks like if she kind of gives it away, it doesn't want to come up. If she's a little too direct, just hits the head pin. So I'm not sure if it's her or she's just needs to get out of the urethane ball. But again, O'Keefe still hasn't doubled. So what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole risk-reward situation here. And, I think trying to get through this game, maybe she tries something.
Maybe. She is on an open. She could try. And just by watching O'Keefe the last 5 shots, she struck every time on the right lane, the left lane. She's flat 10 twice. I would think she's going to make some sort of adjustment, whether it's to slow down a little bit, maybe draw her eyes one in just to get the ball to go through the pins correctly. I would not be surprised if I see that kind of a change happen.
Well, no, what we've learned here is throughout the block, I should say, being able to close a match, meaning, if you were related to baseball, closer comes in, ninth frame. Sometimes they got to get 3 outs. Sometimes they get asked to get the 6-out save. But being able to close out a match, so, oh, wow. And that's not a good break. But I've seen a few of those throughout. But to finish the point on closing, like Puhowski, for example, kind of looking and reading and looking, saying, okay, and then O'Keefe up until this break looks to be finding some rhythm.
Yes.
And which, if you got some momentum heading into Game 3, we've seen players today being able to close.
Definitely,
run down an opponent and essentially, grab the match.
Definitely. And that was, like you said, I know I've seen a lot of those 4-10s happen. I think she actually went back to the ball she was originally throwing because that one looked like to just pick up a little bit sooner, but I'm not 100% sure. So now we're going to see what Shannon Pulowski's going to do. She's going to stick with the urethane ball or try something different, being that her opponent just open, she's on an open, maybe find something here the last couple frames to get into that third game. And she did switch to reactive.
Interesting leave there, the 3-5. I always have to. I'm always used to the right-handed leaves.
Yes.
So when I see the lefty leaves,
you have to turn your brain on.
I'm like, yeah.
What is that?
Okay.
What is that? What are you shooting at? I think that's the second one she shot this game. But she cleaned it up. Not an easy spare. So a lot of our matches are in different places. The Dasha, Kovalova, and Lee Jameson match is already in the third game. It looks to be the other remaining matches are still in the second game. I think Tanya Rumapour and SRJ had just finished their second game. Great shot by Shannon. Thankful for the carry.
Kovalova is up 42 pins in the battle for the #1 seed.
Okay.
On 31 and 32. She shot, just left
Is that an 8-pin?
Main 8-pin.
Ooh.
275, 194.
Still within, still can go either way. O'Keefe up in the 9th frame. Getting a light mixer. So I'm thinking she's liking that lane, minus the first frame. See what kind of adjustment comes now on the 10th.
Right lane, as Bree said, has been very good, very kind.
I've seen that a lot this week too, where you really like one lane and you're really lost on the other, or they're just completely different.
Is that more center characteristics?
I think it is here.
Wow.
That one, the shot before, it looked like it checked up a little sooner. I think maybe she tried to move away from that early hook and it never saw it. I felt like that was, some pairs were like that, where one lane was just in its own world. It was just going to do what it wants to do, and hopefully you left something makeable. And unfortunately, she hasn't been able to do that much on this pair.
Well, you know, except for the early shots where you leave a couple splits, you made the right adjustments, made the moves.
It's,
You know, didn't wait to make a ball change.
yeah, you're aggressive with your changes and your moves, and you still struggle. It's hard to see that, but you know you're doing everything you can to make it better and to find something. I really think she's okay on the right lane. She just really needs to figure out this left lane.
Well, we know that O'Keefe is very good at closing. You know, last year she was in a match with Amanda Fry.
Yes.
And Amanda, I don't remember what the deficit was at that point for O'Keefe, but she ended up shooting 299.
Yes, a lot.
The
Third
game 3
third game
to win the match.
Yes, I remember watching, the end of that match, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" You know, sometimes it's like, okay, I'm going all or nothing. And you just have to have that mentality if you're down a large amount and you give it your all, and you're just high risk, high reward.
Well, this one's still
It's still within
in
reach.
reasonable distance.
Yes, I would say I've seen larger deficits that people come back from. So it's not over yet. Anything can happen this last game. I will say both of them didn't have the greatest ball reaction. You know, if one finds something and it just goes their way and they can just string them, it may put some pressure on the other. So, you know, anything could happen this last game. And I would not be surprised if it does happen.
Well, the good news, if any, for O'Keefe is she's going to finish on the right lane.
That's correct.
So if she can get an early confidence boost,
On this left
with
lane.
at least something makeable.
Yeah, it looks
Another
like she
ball.
changed balls again. The ball's still not seeing it. And it's hard, she doesn't have another righty on the pair with her, so she doesn't know if someone else would see that same transition happening on the left lane. She's bowling against Pulowski's on the left. So she's all on her own out there to try to figure it out. Try to give the spare a run. No. It's gonna be 2.
All right, Pulowski up. Saw what O'Keefe did.
No, we're gonna try again.
Second time there for Pulowski.
Yeah.
So maybe getting a hair quick on the tempo. Wants to make sure.
Yeah, it could be maybe she's not. That first step is not right. Something, just maybe she's too quick with it, or just not falling into place the way she would like it to go. She is a 4-step player, so that first step with the bushway is pretty key. You want to get them going at the same time. If one's laid, one's behind the other, it could make it very difficult to catch back up to one another. So just she did the right thing again. Just try again.
All right, updates on some other matches. 393 to 391. Almy leads Giselle Poss.
Which is pretty far out of our sight.
That is on the last pair going on 37 and 38.
So a close one down there.
Daphne Tan leads Danielle McEwen 457 to 422.
And Danielle McEwen has started with a double. So I would look to see Danielle making some pretty excellent shots here this game to try to get some of those pins back.
Strike, spare, strike for Kovalova.
And it appears that Jane's going opposite. Spare, strike, spare, strike, spare.
Dasha with the inside track right now on the #1 seed. All right.
I don't think she liked that one. I think, yeah, just by her body language and her reaction on that one, she got fortunate enough to get a strike. But I think a lot of the shot making that we're seeing from her, the errant shot making, if it were to be on the right lane, is because she's so unsure about the left lane. So she's making, looks like another ball change, or it's the same ball she's throwing on the right lane. It's a great shot. Some relief to finally get a mark on the left lane.
Man, that's a double.
That is a double.
So it looks to be now in the same ball on both lanes. Two really good shots, or at least one really good one on the left. Maybe not as good as she would have liked on the right.
Not as good on the right, but when you make your own shots like that and you happen to strike, you want to try to capitalize on that. Great shot by Pulowski.
One of the best shots of the match there for Shannon P.
Yes, definitely. I think she did the right thing getting out of the urethane ball. I really do.
The TV finals will take place tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network.
Oh. I've seen so many of those 8s and 9s.
Mercy.
I had plenty myself, but I've seen them just across the center all week. It's just not nice. It's just not nice.
Yeah, my man Brent Bowers here, he wouldn't want folks to strike, so.
It's just not nice. But it's an easy makeable spare. So O'Keefe now back up on the right lane. See if she can get something going here after finally getting a double and getting a mark on that left lane.
Big shot coming up here for Shannon. Read it. All right, 3 in a row for O'Keefe. I think maybe the first 3-bagger she's had.
I would say
in the
so.
match.
Yes. Yeah, we haven't seen her strike as much as she would like to be striking, or she has been the last couple days, but just try to keep making good shots and hopefully they fall down for you. Try to make up some ground with every shot. That one looked to be a little bit right down lane.
That's one consistency I've seen. Whether you're left or right-handed, if you leaped it right, got it a little quick, you were either going to miss the head pin, or if it was right down lane, then you left something that generally was not makeable.
Yes, I mean, the only way that ball could really come back is if her speed was down. If she had missed right and it was slow, but she tends to be fairly aggressive most of the time with with her release and her swing. So I don't think she's really trying to throw it slow. Daphne Tan continuing to strike down there against Danielle McEwen. Good shot by Puhowski.
Again, Shannon will face the winner of the Tanya Rauman per Estachia match.
Do we have the score on that one? This cumulative scoring makes me think.
I've done my fair share of thinking, and some of them I'm still thinking.
You're like, can I?
I think we've got a good scoring guru as a producer this week.
That's good. No, the 10's not gonna go. Plowski stays clean with the 10 pin.
Don't forget, folks, as you are watching and listening and tuning in, if anyone out there is interested in bowling on the PWBA Tour, be sure to register now for one of the PWBA regional events. We've got 3 left. The next one is June 2nd at Double Decker Lanes, part of the Sonoma County Open. For more info on all of the different cities the national tour will be visiting, as well as the available regional events for the rest of the season, visit pwba.com and or pwba.com/regionals.
Yes, definitely. Those regional events, I've been watching them on Bowl TV, and we've had great turnouts. And, if you're not sure about the national stop, and you just want to get your feet wet, find the regional one in your area, give it a try. Definitely encourage all of you who want to try it out, see what the tour is like. Come bowl regional.
Interesting over on the in the winners bracket match for the top seed. Just the rare one time, essentially, where Lee Jane, not that she didn't have a good look, but it wasn't the look that we've been used to seeing for her.
She doesn't seem like she's seeing the lanes the same way, not as confident. Oh. Okay, with a great shot there.
Best shot definitely on the left lane.
Definitely of a match on that left lane. Just by watching Jansen's reaction, she's not quite sure what's going on that pair. But again, she is already on the show. Nothing to hang her head about.
You were the number 1 seed.
Yes.
Last year as Pluhowski strikes in the 7th. You talk to different people, and it could be a mixed bag on answers of what seed you'd rather be.
Mm-hmm.
But how was that experience for you, and would you change anything?
I mean, the experience was phenomenal. I didn't win, but I was just proud of how far I went in a tournament that is so hard to win, so hard to just even get to that point. I think doing it all over again, I don't think I really changed much. I mean, the experience itself, I think now that I've been the number 1 seed in a major, I would be able to handle my emotions better. I would be more quick to make adjustments if I needed to during that one game, because that game goes by so fast. So I really wouldn't change anything different, because I was able to learn from it, and I had a great experience. And it's pretty much it. I got second at the Queens, and I was okay with it after, obviously disappointed you didn't win. But again, I'm also thankful to have the Queens to bowl, and just being able to bowl and do what I love.
Absolutely. O'Keefe was pretty honest about, just looking ahead to when we talked yesterday on the air. No matter what happens, even if for some reason she wasn't able to defend the title, she was very much looking forward to crowning the next winner, also, which is tradition.
Yes.
As the defending champion puts the tiara on that year's current champion. Part of this week for Team USA was the final qualifications for the Pan Am Games.
Correct. I was aware of that, as my roommate, Sydney Brumman, is on Team USA. So I was, behind her, trying to get her, cheering her on. And I believe Shannon O'Keefe will be bowling the Pan Am.
Yeah, from what
we're hearing or calculating.
From what Shannon discussed with me and doing some calculations, and not official yet,
yes,
but
not official.
Her and Steph may be the two.
The two. So I know, there's still good things to come out of it.
Well, there's plenty. And she's going back to Sonoma County.
Yeah, which she won last year.
She's the defending champion.
Yeah. And Sonoma is generally not one of our easiest events. So she'll be ready to defend her next title.
And on the flip side here, Puhowski,
closing this one out,
has been, obviously one of the best. We've touched on that. The numerous television and/or stepladder finals appearances she has had since the relaunch of this tour, and just hasn't yet cashed in
on that win
in this particular situation on this tour at this time.
Yes.
And showing why she's certainly one of the best. Could this be it? Could this be the one?
It could be. She's bowled well this season. She's knocking on the door for sure.
She'll have one more match before
the 4-for-3 spots, correct?
And that match to me is just really the fate's in your own hands, and it always is. But
yes,
there's 4 players. You're literally just bowling the lanes.
Yes.
And hope that your score has to beat one player. Basically.
Yeah, because you try to think, I just have to beat one person. That's easy. But when you think ahead too much, it becomes very difficult. Just take it one shot at a time. All 4 of you are going to be on the same pair. If Pulaski happens to be the only lefty who's in that, that might be a good thing for her. Could be a bad thing because she's not seeing the transition. If you have 3 or 4 righties, they're going to see more transition quicker. Because mostly this week we had mostly 3s on pairs, a few 4s. So you really didn't see a whole lot of transition, I would say, until game 5. 4 or 5 is when you really start to see the burn come about. So, but again, Shannon O'Keefe made a great run this week to try to defend her title.
It's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
It's not. I still don't understand how Jason Belmonte did it so many times, but it's hard to do. It's a tough week. It's a tough format.
Nice finish for O'Keefe.
Definitely, yes.
She falls 651 to 566. Valiant effort after, again, losing her first match of match play and fighting her way back. Other finals, Dasha Kovalova will be the #1 seed for the United States Bowling Congress Queens, telecast tomorrow on CBS Sports Network. The only thing I wish that was that there's enough time for Kovalova to show some of her personality on television. I'm not sure
she's
one
a fun
game
person.
will
She's
be
a
enough.
fun person.
Not sure one game's enough.
No, I crossed with her for 16 games in Minnesota, and it was so much fun. She's got a good personality. She's spunky,
Yeah.
But she's fun.
I love
so
her.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a glimpse of it, on the show. But she's a cool person.
Lee Jane Sin will be the #2 seed. And, of course, still to be determined are who will join them. Tanya Raumemper getting closer to potentially doing so. She eliminates Esther Chia 707 to 681. Raumemper has been on the tear today.
Yes, she has.
And the last match ongoing or excuse me, 2 matches left, I beg your pardon. Danielle McEwen and Daphne Tan. Tan just opened in the 9th frame. So she can get to 214. Her max will be at 671. McEwen only can get to 212. Danielle at 634 max, so Daphne Tan, that one actually
Pretty
I believe is over.
Yes, I believe it's wrapped up. So the only one that we would need to keep an eye on is the Giselle Pass and Amiguera.
And Paul started with the front 5 and went 7 spare, 7 spare. And that one is on 37 and 38.
Giselle was a player who had 300 this week as well.
Yeah, we've had 5 300s. 4 of them have come in match play. You can watch this match on 37 and 38, speaking of Poss and Almi. Almi Guerra, the 63rd seed. Had some battles earlier today. Uh-oh. Giselle has just missed the head pin, if you are watching currently.
It looks like she had a footing issue. I don't know how the approaches are with how the weather's been today, you know, being pretty nasty and
That's
humid
a decent
outside.
Point. It's been humid. It's been, relatively chilly to kind of accommodate for what's happening outside in the building.
I will say, not bowling. It is chilly in here. I was comfortable bowling, so I know the spectators are frozen.
Sure. And I'll give a lot of credit to some of the women's championship staff. Throughout every break, they've been going on the approach, checking, wiping down, and making sure.
Yes, they've been very
fresh approach, basically.
Yes, they've been the staff here has been great. The center staff, the women's championship staff, very helpful, making sure everything is ran smoothly and clean and neat. Great host here, very great host.
It'll be a very similar situation where we'll have basically a 20-minute break. Yeah.
Yes.
20-minute break before we have the next round get started. And then for us and all of you watching, we will have we'll go back to 27, 28, 29, and 30. We'll have a match on 29 and 30. It will be Tanya Raumemper and Shannon Pluhowski. And then 35 and 36 will feature
Daphne Tan.
Daphne Tan and or either Almi Guerra or Giselle Poss. And then the final 4 match will take place on 27 and 28.
All right. So that is the plan.
That is the plan. I got to give it up to Almi. She talked about, kind of changing her, being excited to be able to be here first and foremost, but, wasn't bowling well, wasn't executing well. Found some way to, put the score up that she needed on the burn squad to sneak in. Wins a couple matches, obviously, yesterday, and then, she said last night she had been able to go from, just being happy to be here to now it's if I execute, I can give this thing a run.
Yes, definitely.
And valiant effort. She struggled a little bit earlier today in her first match. We had it on 29 and 30. Every shot she threw was either a strike or a split.
Oh, goodness.
It was
That's the worst.
Couldn't figure it out. Went through 4 or 5 bowling balls. I mean, it was something else. 2 really good shots there in the 10th for Almi.
Yeah, it's rough when it's you strike or split. You're not getting any momentum. You're not putting something together. It's just okay. I made a great shot, and then oh gosh, like well that wipes that one out, and it's really hard mentally to bounce back from that. But being the 63rd seed and to get as far as she has, that's impressive. Especially when she was like, I just thankful I'm here, and I'm in the bracket competing, and and everyone just says you just have to get to the 64, and anything can happen.
She throws the final 3 in the 10th and gets a very nice round of applause from
The crowd.
the great fans here at
Yes.
North Rock Lanes in the Wichita, Kansas, and the surrounding areas of
Yeah.
Wichita as well.
The fans have been great this week. They really have.
I believe it's just a matter of pins for Poss after the big start. The front 5 really
That really helps
set
when you
the
get an
tone.
early string going. Definitely. Well, let's
all right.
be
That's 10
enough.
down, and Giselle Poss will be advancing.
She's gonna have to get 2 pins, or is that already added in?
I believe that's added in already.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
no, we'll have to discuss the. Did you bowl a women's championship yet?
I did.
You did.
I did.
How'd that go?
It went okay. I didn't score the highest. I bowled.
Okay.
I physically bowled well. Didn't score the greatest, but I had a good time. I bowled with my friends from college, best friends. So I had a great time, and that's mainly what I look forward to the women's championships. I get to bowl with my best friends from college, so can't complain.
One more for Giselle Poss, and she's got a field shot to take care of. Bree, before you go, where can the fans of the PWBA and Bowl TV follow you?
They can follow me on Instagram at Brianna Cote 2, the number 2. You can also come to the PWBA Tucson Open, my home city. Come cheer us on. As well as on Facebook, the Brianna Cote athlete page. And I do my best updating all my bowling, non-bowling related stuff, good or bad.
And if there is some viewer out there who wants to help out another potential subscriber, how can you help them with that?
I can help them. They can use my code PWBA Brianna C. BRY.
That's important.
That's important.
Dasha Kovalova being introduced as the
Number 1 seed.
4:15. 4 contenders still remain and will continue their quest for that Queen's tiara. So
Dasha
ladies,
Kovalova and Lee
4:15,
Jensen
we
can
will begin
take the rest of the day off.
Yeah, they've got some, TV interviews to do.
They have
and,
plenty of media obligations, but physically they can relax.
Well, this is the best part of this is what they would want to be doing.
Yes.
Certainly at this point.
Just from experience last year, I enjoyed it.
All right, that'll do it for us, folks, for this round. Well, again, 20 minutes, and we'll be back on with you. We'll make some changes and make some adjustments, and we'll have more bowling for you. We're getting down to the wire. 2 matches to go before the final 4-way match. 6 contenders. No, that's not true, right?
Yeah.
How many you got? 2, 4. It is 6.
Yes, it is 6.
It is 6. 6 players remain, and at this point, obviously, 3 spots left on the line. We'll get there in just a moment. I want to thank Brianna Cote for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So for Jason Thomas, Aaron Smith, Curtis Von Kruger, Tennille, Kathy, Greg, and the entire crew here, we'll be back with you momentarily. This is the 2019 USBC Queens on Bowl TV.